Kuris Ventures, and this is part 3 of our travel segment. So this is our 4th entry for our 30-30 challenge. So I'm happy that I'm trying to keep up with this challenge on the 4th day. So for today's session, we will be continuing my travel experience. Ayan. So on our previous videos, part 1 and part 2, I've actually shared with you my travel experience in the Philippines, the UK, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, kailangan ko ng cheat sheet ko guys, Lithuania, Italy, and Vatican City. So for today's session, I'll continue sharing my travel experience in a couple more countries for the past years. So let's start with for our 9th country, guys. It will be China. So China is actually the first country where I visited for business trip. So my first ever business trip was in China, and my first ever business trip experience is quite fun. So I'll have to share that with you. So I think I'll be sharing quite a lot for China, guys, because I've been there multiple times for work. So ayan. So just to share with you my first experience in China, I actually almost missed my flight. So I had a stopover in France for 45 minutes, but the flight from London to Paris was actually delayed. So I had like 30 minutes to run for my next plane to Beijing, and I was running, and I went to the wrong gate. And I thought the airplane has left me already. And then suddenly I realized I was in the wrong gate. And then I ran again and finally got into the gate, got on the plane. So can you imagine, I'm carrying my laptop with me and I've been running inside the airport. And when I arrived in Beijing, one sad news, they left my luggage in Paris. So I arrived Beijing without any extra clothes with me, and the next day I had this tour arranged in Great Wall of China. So ayan guys, my first visit in Great Wall of China, no change. And I didn't have any proper clothes with me. It was so cold in Beijing. That was December. It was -8 and I didn't have enough clothing. And I have to go to Great Wall and it was freezing, like freezing. So when we were climbing the wall, I think I managed to reach the first chamber, and that was it. I couldn't stand the cold anymore and I have to go back downstairs. So yeah, that was my first experience in Beijing during my first. Yeah, other places I visited in China apart from Beijing. So I have been to Guangzhou back in 2016, just right after I get married. I have to fly to Guangzhou for a business trip as well. I spent a couple of days there. So Guangzhou is the home of really great food as well. Like I think I ate so much food there. And then back in 2016, end of the year, I was in Shanghai. I spent the 2017 New Year there actually. And from Shanghai, I was there for the weekend and we visited Suzhou, I don't know how to pronounce it. So it's an hour away by bullet train, I think, from Shanghai. So I've got so many stuff to share with you about China. Actually, it might be too long, but anyway guys, in terms of additional unforgettable experience in China, it's still in Beijing. So they have this old Beijing, as they call it. It's a street with all the restaurants. A lot of people go there, and they don't have, each restaurant doesn't have a toilet. They only have public toilet that is being shared. And one of the toilet I remember because I always go to this restaurant which serves crayfish and frog. So next to it, there's the nearest toilet to this restaurant is actually cubicles without door. So imagine if you are in the first cubicle next to the entrance door of the toilet, and someone else goes in. So they can actually see what you're doing because they have to pass by your cubicle in order to get to the next one. So I was a bit surprised that they have that in China. So yeah, I'm always amazed every time I go there. In terms of food, I would highly recommend Lassi G. It's my favorite. So it's like deep fried chicken with a lot of spices, so Sichuan spices. Saliva chicken, so it's like a boiled chicken with chili spices, Sichuan spices as well. Beijing duck, of course, you should eat that when you are in Beijing. My favorite, spicy crayfish. I love it. So they call it baby lobster over there. It's just my favorite. It's amazing. This one, every time I go to Beijing, I look for this food, or I always have to visit that restaurant we go to all the time. So my god, my English is just broken right now. I'm like about to sleep, guys. And then of course the spicy frog, it's also delicious. What else? There's just a lot of great food. So they have this Malay latang, and then they have this barbecue. It's so good as well. So just quite a lot of food. But those ones, the ones I mentioned, Lassi G, saliva chicken, Beijing duck, spicy crayfish, spicy frog, you gotta try it if you are in China. So that's that for China, guys. Probably I'll do another session with just China. Again, I've hiked a different part of Great Wall as well, non-touristic part. So I do highly recommend that part of the Great Wall because there's not a lot of people. If you go to the touristic part, especially in summer, it will be so overcrowded. So go to the non-touristic area of the Great Wall and you will enjoy it more. We went to Zhuangdao. It's an amazing hike we did for 4 hours, and then nearby they actually have this famous touristic part of Great Wall as well. So the view there is much better, so I would recommend that. And then yeah, so that's that for China. I'll share probably another video just with all China video that I have. Anyway, guys, for our 10th country, that is Monaco. So again, Monaco is similar to Vatican City. It is a micro-state. It is independent and it is considered as a separate country. It's not part of France. Though I think if you apply for a long stay visa in Monaco, you have to go through the French authorities. So yeah, that's that for Monaco. And in terms of food in Monaco, I don't know, we did not eat there because it's too expensive. We only bought water. The water was too expensive. I think it's around 3 euros. And I'm not sure if you plan to go there. I would suggest you don't stay in Monaco. Better stay in Nice because it's much cheaper. The flights are much cheaper towards Nice, and of course the accommodation. And then you could do a day trip from Nice to Monaco. That's just, I think, an hour by bus. And back in 2013, the bus fare was around 1 euro. It's only 1 euro from Nice to Monaco. So yeah, that's for Monaco, our 10th country. For 11th country, it is Denmark. So when I was in Denmark, I went to Copenhagen, but I stayed in Roskilde where my friend is. So I went there to visit a friend, and then we did a day trip to Malmö, Sweden. So Malmö, Sweden is actually my 12th country. But anyway, for Denmark, unforgettable experience is when we fell down cycling. So my friend was cycling and I was behind her, and we both fell down in a bush. And in this bush, they have this plant where it can cause you allergy. So I had allergy. After that, I wouldn't really say allergy, but you know, part of your skin was swollen because of that specific leaf that touched your skin. So that's the unforgettable experience I had in Denmark. Other than that, what you can visit in Denmark, I forgot the name of the place. I'm gonna search. Yeah, I'm really bad at remembering places, guys. Let me just double check. So there is this place in Copenhagen, I remember. Tivoli Gardens. So sorry guys, I have to search for it. So we went to Tivoli Gardens. It's pretty over there, and there were concerts when we went. So yeah, that's that for Denmark. In terms of food, I cannot remember if I ate any specific Danish food, to be honest. I cannot recall at all because my friend's friend always cooks Filipino food for us. So I cannot recall if I've eaten a local Danish meal when I was there. So that's that for Denmark. And for our 12th country, it is Sweden. So Malmö, Sweden. It's actually near Denmark. It's less than an hour train from Copenhagen to go to Malmö, Sweden. So I was there back in 2013 for a day trip from Copenhagen, and then in 2015 I went back because my friend from Denmark, she actually moved to Malmö, Sweden. So I visited her again and I stayed in Malmö, Sweden. So one thing I cannot forget in Malmö, Sweden is the alcoholic shops. So where supermarkets doesn't sell any alcoholic drinks in Malmö, Sweden. We went to different supermarkets. They don't sell any alcohol. They only have 0% alcoholic beer. 0% alcohol beer. Right? Yeah, beer with 0% alcohol. So anyway, and then we were looking for shops, and of course we found wine shop, but they close really early. So I think 5 o'clock they're closed already. So we did not even manage to buy any alcohol during that time. So I was a bit surprised because in London you could buy it almost anywhere in the shops. So in terms of food, I also cannot remember any specific Swedish food that I ate, to be honest. Maybe I did not really had any Swedish food, unfortunately. So that's that, guys, for our 12th country. Ayan. My English is already super duper broken right now. I know this morning I did my part 2 and I just woke up and I was loading, and right now it's late. It's almost 12 midnight and my mind is almost sleeping. Okay, so for the last country, for part 3 of our travel segment, my 13th country is Thailand. Ayan. So Thailand, I also went there for a business trip. So my first business trip in Thailand was way back 2015. Was it 2015? No, 2013. Sorry. Yeah, so back in 2013, I visited Thailand for a business trip. I stayed there for a couple of days with no sightseeing, guys. So yeah, I was too scared to travel alone. Well, you know, I wasn't really scared. I actually went to a shopping mall to do a bit of shopping, but no sightseeing during my first stay. And then the second time I was there, back in 2016, I had to steal some time from work to visit. So I woke up really early. I left my hotel at 7 o'clock before I go to the office. So I had my laptop with me. I was carrying my laptop with me, and I went to see Wat Arun and then the lying, what's that? The Buddha, lying Buddha. Yeah, I think that one. So I went there. I was late for work. But I really needed it. I was like, I need to see a nice place in Bangkok while I'm there. But I'm really hoping someday I would be able to visit for a holiday in Thailand, because I know there's a lot of things to see. In terms of food, I did not even get to enjoy local food in Thailand, because every time I was there, I go with colleagues and they bring me to an Italian restaurant, the same Italian restaurant. So, so yeah. But I did try tom yum soup. It's my favorite, but in the hotel only. So it's one of the food recommendation, I would say. Tom yum soup. Unfortunately, guys, for pad thai lovers, it's not my thing. A lot of people likes pad thai. They love it, but not for me. I don't like the combination of peanuts and noodles. So not my thing, unfortunately. So yeah, I think that's pretty much for Thailand. So hopefully someday I'll be able to visit again and be able to share with you more things. But yeah, so that's for today's part 3 of our travel segment, guys. 13th country, Thailand. So that's 13 countries out of 45. So watch out for my next video, so that I will be able to share with you more exciting things in my travels. So thank you so much for watching. See you again on my next video, and saranghae, everyone.